TMNT Universe is meant for adult collectors and Ninja Turtles fans. Welcome to TMNT Universe, I'm Ultramex. Today is the anniversary of the 1990 TMNT film. Let's celebrate by reminiscing about some of the old, checking out some of the new, and talking all things Turtles. Let's go!
It's the #1 source for Turtles fans, with reviews and news. TMNT Universe.
We were awesome! Awesome!
Yes, dudes and dudettes, Major League Butt Kicking is back in town!
Oh yeah!
How's it going? 30 years ago today, the TMNT movie was released to theaters. And I'm sure, just like me, this meant a lot to you. I was in the target age group when this movie came out, and I was also lucky enough to have a father who was willing to sit for back-to-back viewings of this movie 3 times in a row. I started off my Turtle fandom with the black and white comic, and then moved into the cartoon, which I also loved. And I was extremely happy that this movie basically took both of those things and put them together, while also staying true to the original material and giving some accurate retellings of some of my favorite issues of the comic. And speaking of faithful recreations, NECA Toys has given us some of the most accurate movie figures of all time. And it all started with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that came in a recreation of the original VHS case. I managed to get one of those when it came out, but unfortunately a lot of the footage was on my original computer, which I had some trouble with. So there are some parts missing, but I'm cobbling together what I have. And since this is the anniversary, and I've also waited too long to open these up, I'm going to do both Comic-Con exclusive packages. So, let's get into it. And here it is. Now, funny enough, this is actually one of the first videos I ever recorded, and I hadn't quite figured out how I was going to do things, so bear with me. The box looks exactly like the VHS case. I love all the details they put into it. And the slipcover that shows off the figures if you want to display them in the case, but I'm a figure opener, so I had to open it. But I did keep this box. And as always, NECA has some great photography on their boxes. So, let's get them open. As usual, I start with Leonardo. I love this figure. These swords look awesome, everything looks accurate. Unfortunately, mine did have a little damage. There is some white scraping on his bandana. Next up, we have Raph. The poses you can get out of these things, you can recreate a lot of scenes from the movie. Donatello with one of my favorite accessories, the mutagen canister. And Michelangelo with a piece of pizza, of course. And here's some pizza for the rest of them. I wonder what the topping is.
Do you like penicillin on your pizza?
I was fortunate enough to get these figures when NECA put them up for sale during Comic-Con. I was also fortunate enough to get this. Unfortunately, all the footage of me unboxing it and putting it together was lost when I lost my computer. But this thing is beautiful. It's also massive. I tend to display various versions of the figures on it, but as more movie figures come out, I think I'm just going to display those on here. And moving on to the next piece, we have the Capture of Splinter Pack. I love this slipcover with the foot bandana going around it. And out of the slipcover, we have the figures in this window box. And on the back, we have a description of the movie. Basically going over the history of the Turtles and their fight with Shredder. But honestly, if you're watching this video, you probably knew this already. Also, NECA's photography is always amazing. The way they set up the figures and recreate certain scenes from the movie is always impressive. Like, just look at this right here. Here I'm starting with Master Splinter. I love the little details. He's got a cool little bendy tail. He also has your standard points of articulation, shoulder, elbows, wrists. He also comes with these shackles on each arm, very similar to the ones he had in the movie. The head is on a ball socket, so is the waist, so you can actually get a lot of movement out of him. His robe is tattered. He has a nice hip articulation, knee articulation, and double jointed foot ankle, so that you can get him into some rat-like poses. The figure actually stands surprisingly well. I basically balance him on his tail like a tripod. I love the details in the robe, how dirty it is, and just he's able to move just fine with it. I like how he also has half an ear. He comes with this paper goods crate for him to stand on, just like he did in the movie, but I'm also thinking about making one out of wood. And you can't have Splinter without Shredder. Look at this thing. I've been waiting for 30 years to have a figure like this. He's got good articulation. You can really pose this guy in a lot of different ways. I love the hip or waist swivel. The shoulders are a little rubbery, which is kind of cool. And he has this elastic band that goes around his waist. And he comes with the dagger from the end of the movie, which fits right into that elastic band perfectly. Now you can recreate that scene from the end of the film. And my favorite thing is the removable mask. This is a very cool piece, and he even has the scars on his face from Splinter. The sides of the helmet are a little flimsy, but they're still very cool and they stay in place. This is one of my favorite figures. He also comes with that funky cape. This thing is obnoxious. The silver and black tiger print is super weird. But it does give us a film-accurate Shredder. It holds together with a little clasp at his neck, and it does have a wire in it so that you can pose the cape as well. You can pull it up over the shoulders the way Tatsu did, or you can leave it over him if you'd like. He also comes with his spear from the film. So you could literally do the entire movie again if you wanted to in stop motion. Like most NECA figures, he comes with extra hands. We have a gripping and open hand with the blade on it, and a gripping and open hand without a blade on it. Next up is not one, but two foot soldiers. They're basically identical, and they do share a lot of the same parts as Shredder. But that's also how it was in the movie. And since they share parts, they share the same articulation as well. I love the detail they got on the bug eyes and the headband. It has the same attention to detail on these little arm guards. He also has the same elastic waistband that Shredder has. These figures are perfect for army building. Each Foot Ninja comes with an open hand and a gripping hand, which will come in handy for weapons like this katana, a pair of sai, this slick staff, a battle axe. I'm not sure what they called him in the movie, I can't remember the word. A tonfa. A pair of nunchucks. and a pair of studded nunchucks with a real chain for your fellow chucker. They also come with an extra bandana piece just like the turtles do. And what do you do with all this cool stuff? You can store it on this awesome weapons rack. I'm glad that they brought over all the accessories from the quarter scale foot soldier as well. I was really hoping we got this. Well, that's it for those figures, but that's not all for the 1990 movie. NECA will also have Casey Jones and Trenchcoat Raphael coming out to Walmarts everywhere. Not to mention all the stuff for Secret of the Ooze, but that's for another time. Since we all seem to have a little extra free time on our hands, what better way to spend it than by kicking back with a slice and reliving your childhood? That's exactly what I'm going to do, so later, dudes.
Hey! Wait for me! God, I love being a turtle!
Hey guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to kick that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I upload every Turtle Tuesday, so you can always come back to see what's new. You can also check me out on various social media, links in the description. And as always, for all things Turtles, check TMNT Universe.